Well, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up for today's video because I can promise you just about every single topic we're going to be talking about today can only really be described in one word: madness. And that's putting it lightly, but don't say I didn't warn you. Firstly, we're going to be taking a look at this TikToker going viral because they're trying to educate everybody on how to make their language, their communication, more gender inclusive. I'm glad to see everybody's using their time so wisely on this planet. Then we're going to be taking a look at another video going viral of this female pastor preaching about a non-binary God whose pronouns are plural. Yep, the end times are so close. It is unreal. And lastly, the organization GLAAD have had a petition signed by around 250 Hollywood celebrities in an attempt to encourage social media platforms to silence anybody who disagrees with LGBTQ ideology, if censorship around those issues weren't bad enough already, right? But before we carry on with today's video, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video, comment on this video, and for the next 10 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and not go crazy, shall we? Challenge accepted. You know, sometimes I don't even know where to start with these videos. I really don't. The insanity as each day passes just reaches a new level. We have this TikToker going viral because they're trying to educate everybody on how to make their communication, their language, as I said, more gender inclusive. So again, rewriting the language for the minority at the expense of the frustrated majority. But what words does this person want us to start using? Well, instead of assuming people identify as male and female, we need to start calling them people, individuals, humans. And instead of using terms like husband and wife wherever we go, because who knows, somebody might be XYZ, we need to start using the other half, significant other, partner, getting rid of all male and female terms. My description doesn't really do it any justice, if I'm going to be honest. Take a watch.
A lot of people ask me, how can I make my communication more gender inclusive? Simply put, use names and descriptors instead of assuming people's pronouns. Drop gender-based titles, unless otherwise specified, and address groups of people with y'all, folks, and everyone. When we go out into the world, we see and meet people, and unfortunately our brain automatically assigns a gender term or pronoun to a person based on certain characteristics. As you already know, these automatic assumptions are often wrong, and they restrict us from truly seeing and affirming people. So let's embrace gender-inclusive language as a way to acknowledge and affirm the identities of all people being addressed. Instead of assigning he, she, or they pronouns when referring to a person, try using that person's name over and over until you learn what pronouns the individual goes by. If you don't have a name to go by, try using descriptor terms like person, coworker, neighbor, individual. Instead of assuming Mr. or Ms. for a person, try dropping gender titles unless otherwise informed. Keep in mind that titles like mix exist as a non-binary option. Note that using gendered terms is wonderful. We just want to avoid automatically assuming or assigning them. So instead of assuming woman or man, use person, individual, human. Instead of assuming husband, wife, try using partner, significant other, spouse. Instead of assuming mom or dad, try using parent, guardian, caregiver. And instead of assuming sister or brother, try sibling.
What is crazy to me, right, is this person has gone through the whole process of making that video, probably scripting it, recording it, turning the ring light on, you know, editing the video, uploading the video, and nowhere throughout those stages did that person sit down and question, you know, maybe what I'm preaching here, talking about here, might be completely insane. So if people like this person, and I'm sure there's many other people out there who think this way, got their way, when we go about in public life, we would have to get rid of all the male and female terms because we might offend somebody's feelings. You know, we have to start using partners, peoples, humans, individuals, because, you know, saying somebody's a male or female is the biggest crime committed on this planet in 2023. Doesn't sound very inclusive though, does it? Oh yeah, inclusion doesn't really work for the rest of us who have a common sense. And you know, we can carry on joking about this, which is probably the best way to go about it, right? Because talking about this in a deeper way can be quite doom and gloom, but I'm gonna do it anyway. When you take a look at this stuff in a deeper way and you see the messaging and you see how everybody's talking about this and how they say it, it is all about dismantling the family structure. It's about removing the nuclear family, all of those terms, and inserting it with something else and rewording all the family terms with something that is soulless, cold, and it devalues the whole thing. It is about knocking the pillars down of this earth that we live in and replacing it with the foundations of deception, and maybe lies, delusion, and anything and everything goes. I just don't think these people have realized yet, and I think you may agree with me on this one. Those foundations are some of the weakest around, and it won't last for as long as they think it will. It will crumble away because there's going to reach a point, and I think we're slowly maybe getting to that point. Slowly people are just going to grow ever more so tired, more frustrated, and will stand up and say enough is enough. Let's just keep things normal and stop going in the opposite direction, trying to rewrite everything because of people's feelings and individual truths, right? We can't offend anybody now. We must rewrite everything. And this kind of links into the next video, I'm not going to lie. As I said, we had this female pastor going viral preaching about a non-binary God whose pronouns are plural. Yes, reconstructing this world stretches as far as religion. And some people may argue the new religion that everybody must follow is wokeism, and I think this video is that. And on top of that, once you've watched this video, I think you'll agree with me again, this video is anything but holy. Take a watch.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and let us confess our faith today in the words of the Sparkle Creed. I believe in the non-binary God, whose pronouns are plural. I believe in Jesus Christ, their child, who wore a fabulous tunic and had 2 dads, and saw everyone as a sibling child of God. I believe in the rainbow spirit, who shatters our image of one white light and refracts it into a rainbow of gorgeous diversity. I believe in the church of everyday saints, as numerous, creative, and resilient as patches on the AIDS quilt, whose feet are grounded in mud, and whose eyes gaze at the stars in wonder. I believe in the calling to each of us that love is love is love. So beloved, let us love.
There is so much to say about that video. I tell you now, if I tried to explain it all, and I say try to explain it all because I understand I'm not the most articulate on these sort of matters, but if I tried to explain it, we'd be here until tomorrow, until the next episode, and I certainly don't want that for you. But to have the audacity to stand up in a church, preach about a non-binary God whose pronouns are plural, and confess your faith in the words of, what was it? Of the Sparkle Creed? Just shows how self-centered, how ignorant, how arrogant these people are. We all know God isn't non-binary. Okay, I don't know why we have to keep addressing this. The fact we're in a society now where we have to address is God non-binary or not just shows what state we're in. Let's stop going around in circles with this issue. There's a reason why we address him as the Father, the Heavenly Father. You know, these people, as we always say, are just so desperate. They insist on mocking faith, mocking Christianity, mocking religion. And we always say it's become a normalized thing, which it clearly has. But I think we've gone past that point now. Okay, these people know they're not practicing Christianity, okay? There's no way you stand up there and say those words. And the people in that church who also follow her, I don't even know what's going on there, but they know they're not practicing Christianity. What's the Sparkle Creed got anything to do with Christianity? As far as I'm aware, right? It sounds like something to do with pride and being progressive, which wouldn't surprise me. They're worshipping something completely different, okay? This isn't Christianity. This isn't anything we know and love. They've made up their own thing. It sounds like a cult to me, if I'm going to be honest here. And it wouldn't surprise me either if these people actually worship themselves. They think they are the gods. They think they can make up their own rules, which, you know, the devil's loving all of this. He's loving everything he's seeing right now because he loves people loving themselves more than anybody else, you know, being defiant of the rules of things like Christianity, thinking they're the gods and they can make up any rule they want, they can act in any way and rewrite what Christianity is. I understand, you know, as I said, I'm not the most articulate on these issues, but I am passionate about my faith, and I feel like many others who are watching as well, when they see that, they also will feel insulted and sad that it's reached this point that people self-loathe themselves, if that's a word, and they love themselves so much that they think they can act in this way. They've put themselves above Christianity, and as I've said, you know, the devil loves this stuff. We are in spiritual warfare right now. Everywhere we look, spiritual warfare is going on, and I think that is a symptom of that issue going on. This is why we're seeing all of this stuff. And wokeism has a huge hand in that. It's changed everything we know. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe you guys can let me know, what's going on. Maybe you guys have some theories here. So news broke a couple days ago surrounding this organization, GLAAD, and I'll be honest, it's the first time I've ever heard of them, but I saw this on Instagram and I saw this on Twitter. They have now had a petition signed by around 250 celebrities. Big name celebrities on there, by the way. I believe there's Ariana Grande, Shawn Mendes, Sam Smith, there are Mulvaney's on there, don't even know if I can say their name any longer. And this petition is all about trying to censor people who take part in LGBTQ hate. So what does that mean? Well, we all know anybody who disagrees with the narrative, says their own opinion, goes against what certain people are trying to convince society of, well, they're the bad ones, they must be silenced, they must be punished. As always the case. Celebs have joined GLAAD to demand big tech stop anti-LGBTQ hate online. It translates to real world harm. Famous entertainers including Patrick Stewart, Elliot Page, Ariana Grande signed the open letter. And yeah, your ideology also is doing a lot of harm. Let's be honest with the younger generations, but they don't think about that, right? It's only their worldview and nobody else's. The Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, in brackets GLAAD, published a letter this week signed by over 250 celebrities and community leaders urging big tech companies to address hate directed at LGBTQ people online. GLAAD's public letter, which was posted on its Instagram account Tuesday, addressed Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter and ordered them to take actions against the rise of anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ hate and discrimination. The letter also accused these major internet platforms of allowing high-follower anti-LGBTQ hate accounts to thrive online. Famous entertainers including actor Elliot Page, singer Ariana Grande, actress Jamelia Jamil, and others added their signatures to the open letter. The letter listed these as content that spreads malicious lies about medically necessary healthcare for trans youth, accounts and content that perpetuate anti-LGBTQ extremist hate and disinformation in violation of platform policies, dehumanizing hateful attacks on prominent transgender public figures and influencers, and anti-trans hate speech including targeted misgendering, dead naming, and hate-driven tropes. So let's just sum this up very quickly, okay? They've used a lot of words there, a lot of guilt tripping to try and convince these platforms, which I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bow down to this, try and convince these platforms to go ahead and insert new policies. I mean, I don't think these people even understand the censorship around these issues is extremely high. Anyway, we see people constantly getting banned, demonetized. I'm pretty sure at this point, my channel shadow banned, that's how bad things are getting. How much more censorship do these people want? Do they want it to reach a point where only one side can express their side of the argument? Oh yeah, because that would be a lovely, stunning, and brave world for them, wouldn't it? That is the goal. Imagine if these policies got enforced tomorrow, okay? Nobody would be able to make any content, right? Everybody's account would be banned. And if they weren't banned and they tried to make a video, they would then get banned for simply saying the words ladies and gentlemen because, well, according to the first TikToker anyway, those words aren't very inclusive, and I'm sure that comes under the policies GLAAD want to insert, right? And for those of you that may have not have heard of GLAAD, as I never heard of them until this this petition was signed, you may say, well, it's just another organization crying about certain things. And again, I did as well until I did a little bit more research and I looked at the president of this organization, Sarah K. Ellis. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at the World Economic Forum website, you will also see she is pictured there as well. So these people have a lot of power and a lot of influence. We all know at this point, anybody who is part of the World Economic Forum doesn't have the best intentions of the average person at heart, right? What they do isn't for the average person. They want to enforce tyranny everywhere they go. And these policies come under that. If these people got their wishes tomorrow, they would make it so nobody could question the agenda. They'd make it the law. If you question it, it's against the law. Some people genuinely want that. Remember when Days of Girlhood TikToker said it should be against the law to misgender somebody. This is how the people think. This is how they think. They don't want people like you and many others, millions across the world, having the courage to question all of this because it is the chink in the armor that could change the direction of the culture, and deep down, that scares them a lot. But that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed, again, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave your comments down below about all the topics we've spoken about today. But until next time, until tomorrow, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.